Shout out to all my ASMR listeners. This is Linkuru, the goat of ASMR, the one and only. You are listening to Linkuru Radio ASMR at 3000 FM. Welcome to the radio show. Alright, that's enough of the jokes. Let's just go straight into it. What I'm doing now is a little quick Season 8 Rocket League ASMR. I'm gonna bring my controller close to me so you can hear all the taps. Alright, how does that feel? Let's go. So, I did a little stream today. Not so little, it was like 3 hours of streaming. Where I was just like exploring the entire Season 8, including the Rocket Pass, the new map. I played some ranked 3v3s. Perhaps I could start by literally going through the Rocket Pass and just literally say out loud every single name of the items. And I'm only gonna do it once every time, okay? So, Honda Civic Type R, Honda Civic Type R, 1094. You know, I said I was gonna do it only once, but I think that's a lie. I might repeat it once at least. Puffy Blue. We got the 10% party XP boost cannon. The cannon. Maz. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Cityscape. Block Partier. Grid Kid. We got Honda Civic Type R Maz again. Wild Style. Big Cat. Metro. The Rap Star. Street Genius. Fresh Kicks. Brick Hitter. Vacillante. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one either. That's a difficult one. Block Beat. I don't know if you guys can even hear me. I'm speaking so damn quietly. I can barely even hear my damn self. So if this ends up being an unintelligible ASMR, then you know why not? I guess that could be fun too. I've been wondering if it bothers you guys when you can hear my computer buzzing in the background, because it is pretty damn loud at the end of the day. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Chocolate chip. Got the dot matrix, LED, BG, laced up, BBM. There's many acronyms in this one. We got the cheeseburger. We got the can't stop me, the big city brawler, the French dude. We got the crush. That could be a really nice ASMR word. XNO. Rap Star back again. Type R, LE. Got the Ombre. We got the Tick King. That could be real nice as a phrase, but let me get real close. Ticking. One way. We got Honda Civic Type Banner, Module, Huntress, Savage Spray, Majesty. We got the Ladybug, Lucky Ladybug. Let's go. Francophone. Shout out to Luckiest Gaming. Francophone. I love these wheels, by the way. They are the best wheels in the game, hands down. I'm considering starting to use them. If I could get a wide octane first of all. 8 ball, ground town. Founder, spraddle. That's a good word. Holographic. Okay, there's the Spraddle rocket boost as well. And yeah, I'm gonna King Tress. I'm gonna start skimming through these. I don't because usually when they do these, what do you call them? Usually when they do any kind of DLC partnered content with, you know, actual brands, car brands, generally they don't let you have too many customization options. But obviously they were able to use a sponsored card for the entire Rocket Pass system, which is a first for sure. So obviously they needed to have more leniency for that, and obviously I imagine Honda had to agree to that, and they were open to be a bigger part of the game, because I feel like when you just do a regular DLC, it's not as big as doing the car as a Rocket Pass vehicle. So pretty much most people are going to have this car if they are somebody who regularly purchases the what am I talking about? If you regularly purchased jeez, I can't even remember. If you regularly purchased a Rocket Pass, sorry. I get very easily distracted and forget things a lot. So I'm actually surprised to see that. Wait, I am being so stupid right now. No, how do I get rid of this? Clear the filters, thank you very much. For a second I thought there were literally no options to customize this car. I don't know why I allowed myself to fall into such a silly, illogical trap. But clearly you can customize it as much as you like, which is really, really cool, considering that it's literally a Honda Civic, and now you can do absolutely anything you like to this Honda Civic. You can give it the gosh darn carriage wheels, or you can give it piece of log as a wheel. It is interesting that a brand has accepted such a deal, but to be fair, you know, it's not like Honda Civic is all that prestigious of a car that they wouldn't mind, you know, defacing it in a sense when you allow wheels like these to appear on it, or, you know, obviously any type of boost you want, you can put toppers on this thing. It's just a regular Rocket League car pretty much in terms of the customization options. You can do anything you like to it. The only thing is you can't change its audio, which is probably for the best anyway. Let me crank up my volume, maybe I could hear it a little bit better. It does indeed sound like a Honda Civic. I ain't got much to say about that. I mean, to be fair, I don't really know what a Honda Civic sounds like, but hey, it sounds like a regular car, so I think they've pretty much nailed it. In terms of what's in the item shop right now, not too much. Wait, what is this? Oh, interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I found the thumbnail of that item quite inappropriate, but we may not speak of that. This is a pretty cool decal, I would say. What is this? A song? Nobody cares, unfortunately. Imperator. We got this decal. It's pretty cool. I do like this car design-wise, to be honest with you. I think it looks really cool. You know, it's pretty smart of Psyonix to like pair up all these Imperator items with the Imperator itself, because that's one way to get people to make multiple purchases in one session. Pretty smart, pretty smart. I heard that this F1 car was kind of like, that this pack was updated recently, like literally today. Apparently the wheels are different, and they've had this F1 car on sale for multiple times. I actually kind of want to buy this, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I genuinely sort of want to give it a go. Wait, I wonder if you can use these wheels on different cars, because I think it would be cool to use these wheels on like a regular, like an Octane or Fennec or whatever it may be. Oh, you even get a bunch of these decals. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna buy this pack as soon as I finish this video. Alright, so in terms of what else do we got Season 8? Well, obviously the biggest part of, well, not necessarily the biggest part, but one of the big serious about in this free play. So, in my stream, which ultimately I'm going to end up editing into a video, I have a few videos planned for Season 8, one of them being I'm gonna be showing off and talking about the Easter eggs on this map, and I will probably make it very heavily focused on the lore of the game, and then it's gonna be like a bunch of moments related to this map. The other thing I will say is that I will also make another video, which I'm aiming to upload this weekend. The Easter egg video will probably come like tomorrow or something like that. That's at least my plan currently. And then the second video will come out around the weekend, so potentially Sunday. And that video is just gonna be like Season 8 moments. Currently I'm planning to stream on my Twitch channel every single day for the next few days, let's say the next 4 days or so. So I'm basically just desperately trying to churn out content from the streams, and I'll see, maybe I might be able to come up with some other stream ideas related to Season 8 that isn't just like simple ranked gameplay or something like that. I might do a little bit more with that, you know, but we'll see. So speaking of this map, first and foremost, I do have to say it seems to have gained a very positive reaction from the community so far. Psionics mentioned that there was a lot of community feedback saying that they want to see another grassy map in the game, which I have seen myself as well. Like, a lot of people have been saying that, and I've been saying that too. So that's cool. We finally have another grassy map, and I think it looks great. One awesome thing about the map is, in my opinion, I feel like the outside of the map is not distracting at all, but at the same time it's really cool. Like, I think this is hands down the coolest map in terms of the outside. That's just obviously my personal opinion, but I just feel like the outside of this map is really sick, and I absolutely love to look at it, love to play in it. I feel comfortable, I feel almost at peace in this environment. Like, it almost feels, I guess it just feels really immersive to me, I would say. My favorite part about the outside of the map is that absolutely massive bridge in the back. I feel like it gives you this sense of like scale that's like really unmatched. It's just completely, I don't know, I just don't get that similar feeling from anything else in this game. Right? Like, it's when you can see that bridge in the background, it just makes you feel kind of small, you know. And when I was streaming, I saw somebody in the comments mention something that I completely agree with as well. Like, this map really does make, or like the map makes itself kind of feel small. Like, the arena, this map doesn't feel large. It feels like almost smaller than a regular standard map, even though it's the exact same map, the exact same size and everything. But I think the reason why it feels small is, one, that all of these buildings in the back and stuff are really close to the map. There's all these trees that are near the map that are pretty big trees, and they're so close to the map that they almost like close you in. They kind of compress you into this arena, and it creates this illusion that it's kind of compact and small. And I think the bridge is another thing, just because it's such a large object in the background that you can just feel, right, when you see it move around in relation to that tree to the left, you can just get a sense of the scale, and it's like ridiculous. And I think that makes you feel small as well. So yeah, I think that those are the main things that are great. An interesting factor that I've noticed and I've seen criticism of is the circle on the wall. So supposedly it distracts your vision. So if you're going off the wall, the circle is kind of obstructing your vision. You're not able to see as well, which is a fair criticism, and I can agree with that. So that's that, right? I do want to say that I am fully in support of these type of circles on the walls in this game. It was quite shocking to me that a lot of the maps in this game didn't have that to begin with. I think even to this day, like if we take a look at some other maps, I think we'll find not all of them have the circle thing on the wall to indicate how close the ball is to the wall. So let's give it a go here. Okay, so you actually do have a very subtle circle. Maybe that's somewhat of a recent addition. Maybe not super recent, but like when I say recent, I mean in the last few years they probably added that. Because I remember criticizing the game for not having a circle on the wall on every single map because I thought that was kind of inconsistent and strange that didn't exist. I will say I think that very faint circle is probably good enough, but I do wonder why they decided to go with the very bright circle for this new map. I think that same circle probably exists in Neo Tokyo as well, if I'm not being crazy right now. I think it might even be an Aqua Dome. Let me try that. I'm gonna give it a go because I can't remember exactly. Oh, would you look at that? This map doesn't have a circle at all. See, this was my criticism essentially. It's like I don't understand why some maps don't have that circle, but that's okay. Let's see. What about Starbase Arc? Again, this is probably one of my least favorite maps in the game. I think the stadium itself is quite bland, and I think the background is super distracting. Okay, so this map has the same, like, bright background thing. Okay, so that's interesting. What about, I think Salty Shores has like a plain kind of colored, like a plain shape on the wall. No, never mind, it has the same one we were already speaking of. Okay, what about Neo Tokyo? I think this one has that same circle. Yup, that is correct. I do find it interesting. Like, I don't know why they don't do the same circle consistently on every map. Like, why isn't that like a standard thing? Why is there differences between maps in this case? This map again doesn't have any circle whatsoever, which again I don't understand this inconsistency. Why not just have the same circle in every map? And I feel like this circle should be subtle. I think maybe the one that we saw on, like, which map were we looking at? I can't remember. This one. It had a really sort of really subtle one. I think it could be a little bit brighter than that, right? Because I think that one's a really difficult one to see. Another interesting thing is that some of these maps have these, what do you call this, the hexagon on the wall, the hexagon pattern, and then other maps don't have that, so I'm not entirely sure, again, where Enix comes from when it comes to their standard wall patterns and wall circles. There seems to be not very much consistency there, so I am curious. I feel like as a game that intends to be competitively consistent and fair, I do think that all of these maps should probably have a standardized wall circle and perhaps even standardized wall patterns. So I think every map should have that hexagon. From what I remember, the Aquado map didn't have that, and I think mainly that's probably to create the sense of like you being in an aquarium which probably might get hindered if you were to, add hexagons to it. So, I mean, that's season 8. I'm not sure if there's anything else to talk about here. It's just a new season. I did my placement matches on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Linkuru, so go follow me there if you want to watch consistent and regular streams. Wink wink, because sometimes I literally disappear for months and don't stream. But hey, listen, every time I do stream, it's a party, okay? Promise. Anyway, so I did my placement on stream, got to C3 immediately as Division 1, which I thought I was going to get slightly higher. Well, I think I did get to Div 2, but I dropped down because I lost a few games. So my goal is to obviously, well, I don't know if I have a goal, but I guess I would like to reach, what's the rank called? I'm sorry guys, I'm actually really tired because I think I've worked over 8 hours today. If you count this, if you count me recording this ASMR video, it's probably a total of like 8.5 hours, maybe even more than that. So I'm probably nearing 9 hours of work at this point. So I'm pretty tired at the moment, so if I'm being silly at any point, do not be concerned or do not be surprised. I am just trying to hold myself together at this point. I'm in no way like, I don't feel like, I mean I feel a little bit stressed, but not like a ton. I will say that like, when I'm productive, that's when I feel the best, So even though I've worked almost 9 hours, I feel like really happy about doing that. I feel like I've accomplished a lot. I feel proud of myself. I feel like I'm proving years worth of struggles that I've gone through with being productive. I feel like I'm like proving myself wrong for years of self-doubt, Because like, I've always convinced myself that I'm not a hard worker and that I'm not capable of like grinding and being consistent and focusing on work for long periods of time and several days in a row and even weeks and weeks, one after another. I thought I wasn't capable of doing that because I've always struggled with being productive. I've always struggled with distractions. But I think over the years, I've started to learn how to break certain years. Like, I've learned how to break many habits that I built over the years, Like, I think sometimes you have to be forgiving with yourself because you may compare yourself to other people. Like, for example, I've compared myself a lot to people like Let the Mirror and Sunless Khan, for example. They've been people I've looked up to in terms of their productivity because I just look at what they do and I look at it in amazement. I look at how much work they put into everything they do and how consistent they've been over all these years of making content. Like, the fact that Let the Mirror is still putting out daily content, and not only is he doing that, but the stuff that he creates requires tons and tons of work and tons of effort and brain power, and that's what amazes me the most, is that he's able to create all these modded maps and stuff, and still he manages to stream every now and then. He manages to upload every single day. Like, that's very admirable. And I would tell myself for years that that's just something that my brain isn't built for. But I am starting to actually gain confidence and starting to believe that maybe I can do that if I want to. Well, it's not even about wanting. I think the thing you need to be careful about is if you're somebody like me who has a bad tendency with sort of of self-doubt and negative self-talk. Like, I've not had a lot of confidence in myself for most of my life, and I think I've also had built up really bad habits in my life, such as like, sort of like, I almost want to say like being addicted to watching YouTube videos or just scrolling through social media. Like, that stuff would plague me for years and years, and it's stuff that I developed as a teenager and stuff. So again, when you're working through problems like these, you have to be a little bit forgiving with yourself. I feel like you have to some extent, like, have a little bit of empathy with yourself, because if all you do is tear yourself down for continually making certain mistakes over and over again, I don't think that's gonna help you in the long run, right? Like, you have to be forgiving to some extent and allow yourself to get back up and go back to work, go back to trying your best to create better habits and create a better life for yourself. And so that's what I've been essentially doing over all these years, just trying to get better at, not allowing myself to become distracted by things. I've created good habits of like organizing and creating schedules and having planners and things like that I think have helped me immensely with focus, because I used to not be able to focus on pretty much anything, and I would constantly forget everything. Similar to, I guess, like ADHD symptoms, although I do not think that I have ADHD personally, but if you do have ADHD and you struggle with organizing and scheduling and actually getting things done, then I do highly recommend looking into resources about that. One thing is, oh jeez, there's so many thoughts in my head I'm trying to get through right now. Well, one thing is, there's this absolutely lovely woman on YouTube that speaks about mental health things, and it's weird, I don't think I have ADHD, but a lot of the material that I find and advice related to ADHD and how to sort of live with that and find ways to be productive regardless of that. A lot of that material I actually find very, very helpful to me personally. So it is, I think a lot of the human struggle and difficulties that we go through is kind of overlaps. I think we can all relate to certain things. But I will put her face in or one of her thumbnails in the video and show like a very useful video that I found. I would say it wasn't that useful for me, because most of the things that she talked about I've already been doing for the past few years. So I would say that it's more useful for you if you're somebody who struggles with those things. But certainly the things she talks about echoes very deeply the things that have been useful for me, so I do recommend that. Anyway, the other thing I want to speak of is, or mention rather, is, I remember I watched Dr. K a lot. I don't know if you guys know. He's a Twitch streamer who was also a licensed psychologist, or psychotherapist, I'm not sure. And I remember recently watching one of his videos where he spoke about that when you have ADHD, a lot of the times the solution to your problems isn't like changing your brain or trying to change how your mind works. It's more about, oftentimes at least, it is about finding ways to change your environment and the things you do externally, changing the external world around you and the external habits around you that you engage in, right? it's about changing those things, because it's much more difficult to change how your brain works versus changing, how you plan things, what kind of, like, for example, what apps you use to stay focused, or what kind of methods you may use, and things like that. Using, like, actually following schedules and writing out your plans and things like that, and breaking up, like, tasks into smaller pieces. Things like that that's not something that changes you, but it changes the way you kind of go about life and how you strategize. So I think that was an important piece for me to hear as well. Again, I don't think I have ADHD, but I do think that I've had a massive problem with this specific thing, which is like productivity and staying focused and things like that. So I think, realizing that I can't necessarily change my brain, but it's more about finding ways to, it's almost like molding the world around me to fit better with how my brain works. So I find that when I write lists every morning and then continually keep attention to them, I find that I work in really kind of erratic ways. Like, I'll have a list of like 10 things, and instead of like finishing one thing at a time, I kind of like keep jumping between different tasks, and then come back to the previous tasks, and then jump to the next one, and then come back to the previous one, and then start a new task, and then start another 3 new tasks, and then I jump back to the first task, and then I jump to the third task, and I work in such a weird way where I keep jumping between things. But I do that because it feels like sometimes one task will require me to wait on something. For example, like, let's say I had to like download something, then I have to wait like 5 minutes for that to download. But in those 5 minutes, it feels convenient for me to start another task, right? But even if I haven't finished the task, when the download has finished, that makes me want to come back to the first task. So I do this constant jumping around, but I feel like what it does, it gets me in this like focused mode where I kind of go into the flow, and I'm really immersed into my train of thought, and I almost feel like I'm high on adrenaline, even though I'm not necessarily high on adrenaline. But it kind of feels like when I'm constantly jumping from one thing to another, it does feel quite hectic. But I do seem to actually thrive in that kind of environment, so I've found that I actually should use that to my advantage rather than trying to change how my brain works, So yeah, again, that's just me rambling about stupid stuff. Well, not stupid stuff, I don't want to undermine it. These are very important things that have very high value in my life and bear a lot of weight, and I'm sure it does in your guys' life potentially as well. I mean, it depends. Not everyone necessarily needs schedules and things like that, but as somebody who works for himself, like, I am my own boss, so I have to organize everything, I have to stay on top of everything, so that is a struggle, that is a difficulty that I have had to juggle with. So yeah. Anyway, this has been my Season 8 Rocket League ASMR. I wonder if I should do a tongue rolling ASMR, so just do a bunch of I wonder if you guys would enjoy that. I could do an entire video of like 15 to 20 minutes of just rolling my R's. Anyway, this has been fun. Season 8 looks great. Really happy with it personally. I love the map. I love the Honda Civic car. I mean, I like that it's in the game. I don't necessarily love playing with it, but frankly, I haven't really played with it besides just, free play. subtitles in my chair, or on my chair. So I could probably potentially do a lot with that. Like a bunch of scratching sounds. Anyway, I appreciate you guys listening. I hope this has helped you relax or sleep, whatever it is that you want to gain from watching these videos. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe in case you do enjoy. In case you do enjoy watching these videos, and in case you do enjoy, oh my goodness, I did not mean to repeat that sentence. I wanted to say, in case you also find these very relaxing. I am very tired. I need to go to bed myself. I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. Alright. This sums up 9 hours of work for me. I hope it sums up 9 hours of sleep for you. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. It is time to close up the video, and Linkuru ASMR is signing off.